What's up, guys? It's the Post Pro Podcast. It's episode 53. It's been like three
Collin,
weeks.
that was your worst intro, I think, of the entire show.
I
Should
thought
I,
it was
should I
pretty
redo
good.
it? Oh, thanks.
I
Yeah.
no, I was kidding.
Oh,
I
okay.
thought it was it was hinting towards the fact that it's been 3 weeks. Like, it was a self-aware intro.
Yeah, so self-aware. What's up, guys?
Exactly. I get it. I like Synecdoche, New York. I get it.
Thanks, Thomas. Anyway, episode 53 of the Post Pro Podcast. We've been gone for like a month, but here we are. We're back in town.
We're all busy in our personal lives to not do our podcast.
Bees. Yep. So let's keep it nice and quick and short today. Do we have any movies?
I do.
Of course you do, Sebastian.
I-
let's
I
keep
have-
it nice and condensed.
I have,
It's nice and
we're
short
gonna-
today.
we're just gonna
Sebastian
go
says,
through,
like 30 minutes of the
We're gonna
top
go
of
through
First
bullet
movies.
points. We're gonna go through some bullet points here. We got big news for me at least. The next Star Trek film will be directed by Mr. Matt Shackman, who did WandaVision. So that's could be a piece of shit, or it could be very good at first and then very bad. So we'll see. Also, we have a couple other little quick things. The Space Jam premiere, Hollywood. Everybody was logging it, and everyone's talking about how it is just a huge, long commercial for Warner Brothers properties, and it sucks. So I can't say I was surprised about that one.
Cool.
So shout out Space Jam, which is just a commercial. So sweet. We
It did
also
kind of remind me of Emoji Movie,
yep.
and it's like plot structure.
So we also got the first trailer for a what was it? The Witcher season 2. I thought I'd mention that because I thought the first season was actually pretty good, and I like Henry Cavill, so shout out that. We also got this really weird like announcement from Warner Brothers about Dune. I just don't really know what to say about this because they're doing like a special like sneak peek of the trailer in theaters in IMAX, and that's it. It's literally just they're showing like the trailer in IMAX.
Wait, is it the trailer or is it something like the
No,
teaser?
it's legitimately a trailer. The second trailer, they're like showing it in IMAX only. And there's like a whole thing for it. There's like a poster out. IMAX presents the new trailer debut and exclusive look at Dune. So I guess they're showing like some behind the scenes as well. But that's it.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be like a movie length. It's like I'm expecting like probably 15 minutes maybe, and you can reserve seats for that online. That's a whole event.
Oh, so it's always
Wait, it's not like it's not before a movie?
No, it's legit. Just like it's like a Dune sneak peek only in IMAX, but that's it.
That's
I've done that before for movies in general. Yeah.
Well, I know, but like I just think it's a little weird.
Yeah, it is news. Yeah.
But it's strange why they would decide to just do that. You know?
What if they've done that before? No,
How much-
that's honestly the first time I've heard of something like that happening.
I mean, like The Dark Knight Rises, right?
I don't
Maybe
remember.
like is it playing like before something?
No,
I guess they
no.
didn't announce
it's
it.
own. It's
a
own
separate thing.
Yeah.
Like, do you have
Are
to
you
buy a ticket for
sure?
that?
Yeah, I'm almost positive it's its own thing. I'm gonna.
Okay, that is a good thing.
Yeah, hold on. Like I'll tell you right now. Yeah. So IMAX Theaters is hosting an exclusive Dune preview. IMAX presents an exclusive look at Dune. Never before seen footage, music, and first look at the new trailer. Experience this. Reserve your seats in IMAX now.
Huh.
That's it. Like there's nothing else to it. And if you go to the website and you go and do this, it's not playing before anything. It's just its own thing.
That's funny.
So yeah, the July 21st and the 22nd. Reserve your seats.
Let's go.
So
Yeah,
it's
let's do
free. Here's the thing: it is
Okay.
free,
Okay.
and tickets are available on a first come first served basis. But again, I still don't understand what the point of going to a movie to see a preview of a movie that's not even out yet for 15 minutes to leave the theater.
Well, it's free.
Well,
It is
yeah,
free,
I
but
assume it is not meant to make you leave the theater. You'd be like, well, I'm here. I might as well just watch another movie. Right?
yeah, but it is just a little goofy. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
they are showing it at Altamont Springs, guys. It
Nice.
is the only place in the entire state that's doing this preview.
Really? What?
I
Nice.
swear. Yeah. So anyway, that's all I have.
Okay, well, that is an interesting one, Sebastian.
Yeah, IMAX Dune only preview.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on to what we watched. I'll start it off. What do you think of that, fellas?
That's fine with
Word
me,
up.
dude.
Alrighty. So we're going to go
getting my
all
Dune tickets
the
right
way back to the movie I watched after 8.5, the last podcast pick we had. And this was a film that I know at least Sebastian and Thomas and I had been looking forward to. F9, the Fast
I
Saga.
do. We need to get to talk about
We
F9.
finished the Fast Saga. You know, we have been hyping this up all year. We had a little marathon watching all the movies. We finally went and watched it 40x in theaters with a large crowd who was all into it.
It was
I
so
mean, we
good.
had people laughing, we had people cheering, we had people crying. It was insane. It was actually like a really fun movie theater experience.
It was so
Even
good.
though the movie was pretty bad.
It was, yeah.
But it was the movie experience. I will never forget, like, just everyone screaming when Tej and Roman go to space. I look over at Thomas. We make eye contact.
Everyone looks over. We're all like, "Oh my
Yeah.
god!"
Oh, it was pretty amazing. Lots of memories there.
Do you guys want to come? Really off topic. Do you guys want to come to this with me? I can reserve like everybody's seats right now.
To the 15-minute preview?
Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
If you want, go for it. I don't know if I'm working then or not right now.
I'll reserve 2 seats. Why not?
Okay.
Alrighty.
Alrighty, I got it, guys. I'm going to the Dune 15-minute preview sneak peek, guys.
Gotta get excited for the movie. Let's go.
Nice. Yeah. So anyway, F9. Bad movie, but pretty fun to see in 40x in theaters. The crowd was super into it. That was fun. I watched the new Pixar film Luca, which I thought was pretty good. I liked it. Like the animation style, like the story, very simple, but you know, had nice characters, nice story. It had me crying at the end, so that obviously means something. I enjoyed it. Then I watched the new Amazon film, The Tomorrow War, which apparently was made for about $200 million and thrown on Amazon Prime. Not good. Not good. I like the concept and premise. But everything else about it's pretty derivative and just bland action sci-fi movie. Chris Pratt did his thing, but he wasn't very good in this. I honestly don't remember much from this, so I mean that it speaks for itself.
I also watched it. That's the movie I forgot to log.
Oh, okay. Yeah, not good. Though I think the premise was interesting. I actually
it is.
The concept was interesting. Con Air with the boys, little Saturday.
Oh, that's the other one I didn't log.
Con Air. This is my first time seeing it. Wild film. You know, Nic Cage. Probably. I mean, I don't know whose accent is worse, his or Bama Boy's. But you know, at least Bama Boy's accent. That is his accent. Nic Cage, man, I don't know what he was doing in this movie. But it was an entertaining film. You know, I liked the set pieces and the action and the production design. So that's something really dumb. But all the cameos were pretty fun. And Steve Buscemi, what a performance in that movie. Then I watched The Sandlot for the first time when Megan came over this past weekend, I think, or the weekend before, I don't know. Apparently, you know, nostalgia classic for lots of people. I didn't really like it. I thought it was kind of bad. I thought it was pretty cheap and the performances weren't good and the story was boring and I just couldn't get into it. Maybe it would be different had I seen it, you know, as like a 7-year-old playing baseball, but that's not how it is. And I saw it now and I didn't really like it. Then we rewatched Donnie Darko. Well, I rewatched Donnie Darko. She watched it for the first time. Donnie Darko's a masterpiece. What can I say? And she enjoyed it, I think, for the most part. So that's cool. Then I started a little series of films I'm currently going on. I thought, what the heck? The Forever Purge is in theaters. So I have a Purge marathon. And I saw that Noah recently watched The Purge as well. So, yeah, The Purge. Not as bad as I was expecting, honestly, but still not good. That's really all I have to say about the first one. The second one was a tiny bit better. It was like at least directed and written better, but had the same issues as the first one other than that. Then watched Black Widow in theaters with the guys. I enjoyed it for, you know, the most part. I thought it was decent. You know, I didn't think it was awful. It was better than Captain Marvel. That's all I really wanted. But then I watched Purge Election Year, which was god awful. Oh my god!
Wait, you don't like the second Purge?
This is the third.
Oh, what did you watch the second one, right?
Yeah, I said that. Purge.
Oh, okay.
I said it was slightly better than the
Oh
first.
yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but
I just zoned out.
Year, yeah, you're good. But Purge Election Year really, really, really.
Oh, it's terrible.
Bad. It was getting me angry. You know, it's one of those bad movies where I was just like, what am I doing to myself? I was very upset. And then Seven Samurai. I finished it today. That was my 3 weeks.
All right. I'll go. Fast 9, the movie event of the summer.
Of the year.
Of the year. Of the decade so far, to be quite frank. And I mean, yeah, it was pretty bad. I mean, honestly, I think it's even pretty low down on my list because it lost a lot of the charm of being a car movie, because this one wasn't really even a car movie. Like, the closest that they got to, like, they drove cars, but like the only mention of like the car in general was just, oh look, it's a Pontiac Fiero with a jet engine strapped to it. They didn't talk about anything, right? Like, the originals were they would go like in depth and talk about it. Then all like the modern ones, even like 8 would be like, whoa, that thing has 1,000 horsepower, try 2,000, try 10,000. And this just ditched all of that. And it was kind of disappointing in a way. However, it was a fucking event and hilarious. I don't think I've laughed that hard in a theater, well, in quite a while, because I've been in the theater for quite a while, but it was pretty great. Then Black Widow, which I didn't really like. I felt like it was just
it's okay, Thomas. Just wait till I talk about it.
Yeah, I'll let you take over. Luca, which I also didn't like all too much. It just felt like
Thomas.
mid-tier Pixar, in my opinion.
Interesting.
Yeah, was my favorite thing. Then Werewolves Within at the Enzian, which was actually pretty great. Kind of like a Agatha Christie-based murder mystery, except with a werewolf. And it was really fun. A lot of not super popular actors giving really solid performances. And yeah, I actually had a really fun time with that. And then Seven Samurai.
Seven Samurai. Well, I guess that means it's my turn. Not to talk about Seven Samurai now. All right, I'm going to start off with Black Swan. It's my favorite Aronofsky so far. Well, it's not like there's a lot of competition, you know. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Well, I'm not sure if I'm going to watch all of his movies, so I'm not like a huge fan per se. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was my favorite after I finished everything. I mean, it's super on the nose, like all of his movies, I guess. But, you know, performances are fun. I don't know. It's just like has that Aronofsky thing of like, wow, this looks like painful. It's a metaphor, actually. I don't know if you picked up on that. I did watch The Purge, as Collin mentioned. I think as like a combination of like, I haven't seen a lot of Ethan Hawke, and I've heard that these movies are kind of good. Not really tied to like there's a new one coming out, and I'm not sure exactly how interested I am in watching the rest of them at this point, especially because Ethan Hawke isn't in any of them. In fact, I don't think there's any returning cast, right?
There is, actually. The homeless man in the first movie is in the second and third one.
Oh, okay. Then
yeah.
I mean, he was all right. Although there's not a lot of character there. I mean, I guess kind of obviously. I mean, The Purge, honestly, like better than I expected.
Yeah.
But like it's only like 80 minutes long, and I was still like, all right, can we wrap this up? Like,
yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. So not great. Although I think, you know, Hawke and Hetty are like fine or good-ish in it, but it's weird to judge. Started rewatching a bunch of Coen Brothers movies, which I like all of them. I've already talked about them, so I'm not going to go too in-depth. And then for a class, I had to rewatch The Favorite, so that kind of cut the marathon short. I was actually planning on stopping like a little bit later, but not at the very end of their filmography. Then I'll probably pick it up in like a couple of weeks or so or something. Anyway, all
what
of those.
What class was that for?
The Favorite is for English literature.
Nice.
So yeah, it's like 90% literature, and then like every once in a while we have like a movie or an episode of a show or something.
That's cool.
Yeah. But anyway, good thing The Favorite was on the schedule because I happen to really enjoy that movie. I think it's great. And also, this rewatch kind of solidified it as my favorite Bond was. Watched Luca, which I do actually like quite a bit. Thomas, don't really. No. I like. And you know what? It's okay to not be like a super, like what do you call it? Like a Ratatouille, like a super, inventive, like innovative, just like totally out there movie.
Sure.
So,
I mean, there were other reasons why I didn't love it. I mean,
yeah, I don't love it.
Like the introduction felt like a short film. It just
Oh yeah, that was where it lost me the most for sure. But
it didn't grab me at all. And like even through it all, I never really got involved with the movie.
Interesting. Yeah, during the like undersea parts, I was like, I might not like this as much as I could. But then like once it got on the land, I was pretty quickly on board again. So I don't really know.
Funny enough, this is probably gonna be like the one Pixar movie I don't watch. I'm really legitimately just not interested in it.
I'd watch it, Sebastian.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was good. I liked it.
Yeah. I mean, if you like Pixar, I think you'll like it, honestly. Yeah. At least somewhat. Where was I? Watched Seven Samurai like a week ago. Because
Sorry.
Anyway. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's not your fault. Well, I guess it is. Yeah. But, whatever. Anyway. Well, I'm just saying. I mean, I was.
I know. Yeah.
I'm not blaming him for it. It's, I guess, more the thing that I should have said there. I talked about like two things. So I'll just throw in No Sudden Move, which is the new Soderbergh movie.
How was it?
Good. It's really, really good. It does that late Soderbergh thing of the plot is being really incomprehensible, and but like the cast is incredible, and there's not really like a weak performance at all. I guess maybe like there are kids in the movie, but only a few of them, and they're like. It also, interestingly, doesn't really have a lead, like pretty much at all. I guess Don Cheadle because he has like the most to do, and he has like the most coherent narrative arc. But like, I don't know, like Julia Fox and fucking Amy Simons are like 5th and 6th filled or something like that, and they still have like a lot to do, I guess, compared to especially like the supposed co-lead Benicio del Toro. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. If you like Benicio del Toro or like Kieran Culkin or Ray Liotta, Julia Fox, Brendan Fraser, Don Cheadle, as I mentioned, John Hamm, any of these people, I would just watch it. I mean, it's on HBO Max.
Oh wow, I didn't realize those people were in there. That's a heck of a cast.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, yeah, for that reason, I think it has been like on my watch list more than most Soderberghs for like literally the past like 6 or 7 months.
I think I'm just add it just because of that now, just because of the cast.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I didn't know Brendan Fraser was in it, and now that you said that, I'm already on board. I'm going to be watching it.
Yeah, he's definitely like a key supporting role where he has like maybe like 10 or 15 minutes of screen time, so don't get like too hyped up for him. But he's good, like for sure. Oh yeah, and I'm not sure if this is like one of those things where it's going to leave at the end of the month because it wasn't released in theaters, but it was released on HBO Max, so. I guess maybe check it out quicker sooner than not, but I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's it, honestly.
All right.
Alrighty.
Sebastian, take it
Here
away.
we go. F9, masterpiece of a film. There's really nothing else to it. They went to space. And that's really all that needs to be said is they put a rocket on a 2-seater Pontiac and they went into space. I mean, there's just
and destroyed a satellite.
Yeah, and destroyed a satellite and somehow found the International Space Station and somehow just made it back to Earth in like 30 minutes. So F9, incredible. Con Air, also incredible. Just any movie with Nic Cage, it's either a hit or it's a miss. And Con Air is a hit. Con Air is just, again, I put in my review, it's one of those movies that it's just one of those 90s, we don't give a fuck, just feeling movies. Like, it just doesn't matter. Like, it's just good. So it's just like Fast and Furious. They're terrible. It's not a good movie, but it's just good. It's entertaining.
It's not a good movie. It's good.
Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. I thought it was all right watching it, but then as I watched season 3 of Twin Peaks, I really thought it was better because I
Yeah,
like
then-
went
then
back.
100%.
Yeah, I went back and like realized I was like, oh, 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 the whole time.
Oh.
So I'm like, oh, so that, oh yeah, it was just like me just going back and going, oh wow, he really did just like really good at narrative and throwing back shit, David Lynch. So yeah, I don't really want to say too much because I don't think Thomas has watched it and don't
I
know
have
if he
not.
ever will, and I don't want to give spoilers out because season 3 of Twin Peaks is like one of the most like surreal, just batshit insane things I've ever seen in my entire life. Didn't help that I spent the entire time high watching it either, but you know, um, it's just such an emotional thing. I just don't really know how else to really put my experience into words. It was just every once in a while I like have that like piece of media that just kind of like fucks me up, or just it just kind of like it does something deep in my heart, but I can't explain why I like it so much, but I just do. That's Twin Peaks for me. Because Twin Peaks is just so good, but I still don't understand what any of it's about. Like I don't understand what David Lynch is trying to say. I don't, but I just like it. It's good. So shout out Twin Peaks for being just such a fucking weird show. I mean, there's really nothing else to it. It's just good. So highly recommend Twin Peaks if you haven't watched it. I watched The Conjuring 1 and 2 again. Don't ask why I've seen these. Dude, I've seen both of them twice in the past month.
Wow.
Because I went to my friend's house and they're like, "Hey, we're watching The Conjuring," and I'm like, "Oh my fucking god, dude!" I'm like, I don't want to watch
shoot,
it.
I have to log it on Letterboxd again. That's
I know. Well, yeah, exactly. So I'm like, dude, fuck me. I don't want to watch this movie again. And then the next time I hang out with them, they're like, "We're watching The Conjuring 2." I'm like, dude,
What?
like stop. So then I guess last time they watched Conjuring 3, thank God I wasn't there for it. So yeah, Conjuring 1 and 2, they're good. 3, not so much. Black Widow, I fucking thought it was pretty trash. I actually want to lower my review score for it because the more I've thought about it, the more I think it's actually pretty fucking terrible.
I was
Because
about to say, like, you were really hard on it that night, but you were like,
no,
right? And then, yeah, it just didn't. It didn't
no, because the more I thought about it, the more it doesn't make sense, and the more just convoluted it is in my brain. The fact that the villain of the movie shows up in the last like 15 minutes. He does a little trollolol and then just gets blown up. Spoiler alert, guys. Spoiler alert. He gets blown up is the most anticlimactic, unsatisfying villain I've ever seen in a Marvel movie. Because the more I thought about it, I'm like, let me think about the terrible Marvel villains. This is probably the worst Marvel villain. I would go as far as to say he is the worst Marvel villain on screen. I would rather watch any other Marvel villain than this guy. This guy is just trash. And we're supposed to like feel threatened by him. He's just not scary. He doesn't do anything for me. And the plot was just really boring. The last act of the film is just so rushed. The CGI was just terrible at parts. Just just everything is just very unmemorable and just very mediocre. Scarlett Johansson deserved a better send off than this movie. So yeah, Black Widow, very mixed bag. It has good moments and then it just has complete dog shit moments. So yeah, if you want to watch it, go watch it. But you could literally skip this movie and it would do nothing for the MCU. Literally, it would not change anything. This is true. It does nothing. It does nothing for the MCU. Fear Street Part 1. Don't really get why people are raving over it. Like, it's really nothing special. It's just a very Stranger Things-esque slasher with even people from Stranger Things. Like, Part 1 was very, like... it was just it was pretty sloppy. There was a lot of like editing choices I didn't like. It also continued the really annoying trend of let's throw as many licensed songs as we can in the movie. And for you to go, oh, that's Radiohead's Creep. Oh my God, I love that song. And it's like one song after another song stacked on top of each other. Like it's annoying.
Well, how are you going to know it takes place in 1994 if you don't have all that licensed music?
It's a problem I had with Captain Marvel, but this movie did it worse actually.
Yeah.
As funny as it is. So it has really. I actually thought this was going to be kind of a kiddie movie because it's R.L. Stine. So I went into it expecting like some cheesy Goosebump shit, but some of the kills are fucking brutal. It's definitely not a kids movie. So Like there's I doubt you guys care about this. There's literally like a scene where a character gets fucking killed by like this, like, I don't even know what it is. It's like a wrapping machine for like meat at a deli, and her just fucking head gets sliced open like into like a billion pieces. It's insane. So when that happened, I was like, okay, this is kind of crazy. So yeah, recommend. It's all right if you just want to just turn your brain off. It's a fun movie. Tomorrow War. Colin already went over it. It fucking sucks. They they basically just shove it in your face and be like, you like Chris Pratt? You'll love this movie. No, it fucking sucks. It has a really good concept, but they don't do anything with it, and the script is fucking terrible. There's just really nothing to it. There's nothing to say about it. It's very generic.
Yeah, it's like you don't even remember anything about it.
No, you don't.
I
5
seriously
minutes
can't
later,
recall.
I just remember like this one CGI monster like running at J.K. Simmons and Chris Pratt like knifing it midair.
Oh yeah. Now it was ridiculous. But actually, that's one thing. I really like the creature design. I thought the creature
they were
design was
cool.
really cool. Yeah. That's one positive from the movie.
I already went over Twin Peaks: The Return. Fear Street Part 2 just came out the other day. This one was way better than the first one. It has Stranger Things girl. I don't know her name from season 3. She was the ginger. She was actually pretty good in this movie. Has a lot of just random kid actors and shit that they're just there. They've never been in anything. So this is like their first role is in this movie. And some of them are terrible. Again, this one's a pure slasher. It's like at a camp and there's just a slasher going around. There's really nothing else to it. Again, they're just slasher movies for teens, I guess, is the target demographic.
Yeah.
I had fun watching it. This one was better. So the part 2 was way better. I rewatched Lake Mungo because my professor mentioned it, and we had already done that on the podcast, of course, so I won't go over it. But, I watched it with my girlfriend. It's a good one. It's a fun watch. Loki wrapped up today, as in Wednesday the 14th of recording this, so I could talk about the whole show really quick. It's the first MCU show to stick a landing. It's the first one. It is the first MCU show to actually stick a landing. The payoff in this show actually is payoff. It's not just... hey, we're going to have really stupid fight scene CGI at the end of the show. No, it actually just ends very well. And this is the show that I would recommend to watch because this show has implications on the whole Phase 4 going forward. It has legitimate consequences and is going to change the entire MCU going forward. So this is the show you want to watch if you want to watch the new Spider-Man, if you want to watch the new Doctor Strange. This is the show because it opens up the door to everything involving those movies. So highly recommend it. It's pretty solid. Like, it's just fine. I'm not going to say it's like amazing. It's a fun watch. I enjoyed myself watching it. I didn't want to kill myself like I did watching it with, Black Widow. It's a fun watch. Tom Hiddleston is he's great. He's just a really fun in this show. He actually gets to be Loki more than 10 minutes on screen. So, shout out Tom Hiddleston. He's really good in this. So, and then I finished up Seven Samurai.
Seven Samurai. We'll talk about that in just a minute.
So,
Seven Samurai.
Seven Samurai. It is a movie that
undeniably true.
I did say I watched, but in reality, I did not. I had watched a majority of the movie. No. I'm talking about Colin called me out on it. I'm throwing back. I'm giving lore. I'm giving post-pro podcast lore.
The context.
So I really wanted to watch some of Kurosawa's movies. So, I wanted to start off with this one, and I thought you all would come on this journey, and it is a painful journey because we all are so busy now. So I've had to watch it in sections. So like over the past week, I've had to watch like an hour a day. So I've watched like an hour here, hour there. Then in the middle of Twin Peaks, which is more important than Seven Samurai, unfortunately. And then Life. So here I am, Seven Samurai. And let me tell you, I think it is a fucking incredible movie, especially for the time. This movie is fucking vastly impressive. There are scenes with so many fucking extras on screen. It's unbelievable. Like they're like just scenes with like villages full of them. Like it's crazy how this movie was made in 1954. And it is vastly more impressive than some of the movies coming out today. The style, the fight choreography, the directing, just everything is just top fucking notch. It's crazy how the Japanese cinema at this time was so vastly ahead from what I've seen than Hollywood at the time. Like, it's crazy. This is a 3-hour movie, and it's almost, I would say, near perfect in a majority of its like technical aspects. It's crazy. Like, legitimately, it is crazy to like think about this movie being made all those years ago, and it's still holding up to this day. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
Nice. Yeah. I'll give a little context to me too. So I woke up at like 7 to go to work the other day and got home after a long day of selling Legos. And I was like, I gotta watch Seven Samurai. And I started, and I started dozing. I mean, it wasn't because of the movie. It was just because I was so tired from working. I had closed the night before, and then I had to open just like I did again today. So this is not the Colin Bass night way. This is not how I usually watch movies, but I watched this movie over the span of 3 days, and it really messed me up. I felt it just didn't feel right. I felt like my whole viewing experience was thrown off. So I can't really say that I gave the Seven Samurai a proper viewing experience. That being said, I would definitely want to watch it again because, like Sebastian said, there are some very impressive sequences, like in terms of like the stunt work going on and the production scale, especially in the finale and stuff. It was pretty cool to look at, and of course the direction capturing all that is solid. Lots of the just subject material and like content as well kind of surprised me. Like, there was quite a bit of like language in this movie that I wouldn't expect from a film from the 50s, and some of the violence and stuff like that. I was like, oh wow, that looked real. Probably because it was. Like, I felt bad for those horses falling down everywhere.
Oh.
I like the score. Some of the performances really solid. I think just the biggest issue I had with this movie, which is more of like a me thing than the movie itself, was just I was just so tired and watched it broken up that I didn't get the whole. You know what I mean? So it is a long movie. And it's a pretty slow movie, I'd say, for like the first 2/3, honestly.
Yeah, but
so that didn't necessarily help.
That last God, some of the last fight scenes are like crazy. Like,
and I was surprised by
nuts.
I finished it today. I finished the last 45 minutes today, and those kind of flew by. So I was like, wow, I wish I had been in this, mindset the other 2 days. But from what I saw, I liked. I can't say I loved it or anything, but that's just because I, was kind of out of it watching it the first 2 days.
Yeah, like
I just watch it again. I will watch it again.
It just says so much about like Japanese just class structure, especially like in like the 15. I think this movie's in like probably like
1500s.
Yeah, 50 or something probably, but like just when it's talking about like just Japanese like class and gender roles and like the hierarchy of Japan, it's pretty brutal. It shows you the Japanese life back then. I think pretty accurately. Again, I wasn't there, so I don't know, but I feel like it's a pretty accurate representation of what was going on back then from what I can understand. And I just think it's just shot brilliantly, and just fucking some of those fight scenes near the end. It's very, very easy to draw parallels between like, I haven't seen a lot. I really want to keep going, watching a lot of old Japanese cinema from this time, but it seems like, it definitely inspired a lot of Hollywood movies for sure.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's pretty easy to see
Star Wars influence.
Yeah.
So, that was like obvious from the get-go when I started.
Yeah. And like George Lucas, I know, is a Kurosawa nuthead. Like, he loves like old Japanese movies, and it's pretty easy to see kind of like where he got the inspiration from Star Wars. And a lot of the like fight sequences remind me of like kind of Avengers a little bit too. There's a lot to just see here, and just kind of see how like Hollywood has kind of taken the general gist of Japanese cinema from this time. I just think it's it's interesting. There's a lot to pull from this movie.
Yeah, I thought that was the coolest thing too, just seeing like the obvious influence of like modern day movies.
Yeah, because I'm not the reason I wanted to watch this was because I'm not so in depth with Japanese cinema, and it's something I've kind of wanted to like dip my toes in, and I thought it'd be interesting to kind of like make that a pick to see what we all would thought of it, but it was a little bit of a trek to watch it. I won't lie. Same with Collin. So, but I loved every step of the way. I loved it.
Yeah.
All right, Noah, Thomas.
I mean, I enjoyed it, but I do agree that I think it was honestly too long, especially in the first. I mean, I guess like half or act or whatever you want to call it. And I don't know. I didn't watch it in one sitting, but I did watch it within like 5 hours. So definitely a lot more condensed than I think probably any of you. Maybe not Thomas.
I didn't realize he was giving us a transmission or intermission. Should have.
Yeah, me neither. No, I took like 20 minutes before.
I can't lie. I saw that. I was like legitimately like a little upset because I watched it last night and finished the last 2.5 hours. I watched an hour last night, last 2.5 hours today. And when I got to the intermission, I was like, "What fuck?"
Yeah. Same. Anyway, I don't know. I think probably my favorite part was Mr. Toshiro Mifune.
Yeah, he was really good.
Yeah. I don't know. It's one of those movies that's hard to talk about because, like Sebastian said, it is like something that's just been copied infinitely. Mm-hmm. But interestingly, I'm not sure if this is like the best version of this. I don't like offhand have like something that does Seven Samurai better than Seven Samurai, but this definitely wasn't like the stone cold masterpiece that I expected it to be.
Yeah,
I do think Good Kuro is like a masterpiece.
Yeah, like
I don't know.
I wouldn't like I just think it's just really like technically like especially for the time a masterpiece, but I think narratively there's probably better samurai movies I haven't discovered yet.
I actually found
better samurai movies.
Yeah. I actually found also because I was like out of it half the watch I had, but I couldn't remember some of the characters' names, like most of the characters' names actually. I was trying there were like so many that I was like, okay, who's this guy again? What is this person's name? Have we learned anything about this guy? And then the whole like romance thing going on with the aspiring samurai and the girl with the protective dad. I was like, this really doesn't need to be in here. There was like stuff that I wanted more developed that wasn't, and then stuff that was developed more that I thought could have been tossed away, honestly. So yeah, like we were all saying, it could have, the runtime definitely could have been cut down.
There was like I forget, man. There's like a new Japanese director, not new, but like past like decade or so that's making like traditional Japanese movies like this still. And I remember Chris Stuckman talking about it one time and of like the impressive action, because that's like the next thing I want to watch. I just don't know off the top of my head, but he thinks it's like just as good. I'm trying to like remember like what the hell it's called. But yeah, pretty much the Magnificent Seven is just this movie, pretty much as well. I realized that as I watched it. I was like, oh, that's literally just this, but the American version of Seven Samurai, which is also kind of funny to think about because it's literally the exact same thing, just with cowboys.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't realize that. I'm just going to be honest. I didn't realize that's what that was. I had no clue. Like, I had no clue that was the Hollywood version of Seven Samurai.
Yeah.
So crazy. It does a very good history lesson for me.
Yeah. Does anyone have anything else to say?
Not really.
I'm not really, honestly.
Yeah. I liked the final exchange at the ending and the final shot. I thought that was just like the last couple minutes was really good. But yeah, I'm definitely, so I didn't watch this on my Criterion because I was worried that
still unopened.
Yeah, because I was worried if I hated the movie, then I have an opened Criterion that I couldn't sell for as much as I could for an unopened Criterion, right? So I just watched it on HBO Max. But yeah, maybe I will open it someday.
Maybe someday.
Did the HBO Max have like the Criterion startup? Because their restoration would be better than whatever they used.
Yeah, I mean, it had the Janus Films logo and all.
Oh,
yeah, it had the Criterion maybe. So I don't remember. That was like 3 days ago.
Funny enough, the Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me on HBO Max is the Criterion.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Oh. Yeah. When I watched Eraserhead for the first time, it was Criterion on Amazon.
Okay, nice.
So,
All right.
Seven
Great.
Samurai. I'm gonna give it like again. It's something I do as well as Colin said. I think I need to just give it like the full time it deserves and watch it in one sitting. Like just fucking do it and pull through with it. At the current moment, I will probably end up changing this in the future because it's a movie I definitely want to revisit, as well as I want to go through more Kurosawa. I'm gonna give it like an 8 right now. I'm gonna give it like an 8.
All right. I'm not going to rate it because I wouldn't feel right doing it the way I watched it. So, yeah,
I'll give it like a 7.
sorry to disappoint.
I need to watch it again too.
I mean, I would give it an 8, honestly. I will probably watch it again at some point, but the urge within me is not as strong as
Yeah.
it is within you.
Yeah. It'll be.
I don't know.
I
I don't know
think.
when I will watch it again, but
All right, well, unanimous consensus is we all are going to watch it again sometime.
I mean,
Well,
probably.
there's just so
Probably.
much like there is like a lot I really do like about this movie, but as you guys were saying, yeah, the first like half of this movie is like pretty slow, but like I really loved like a lot of the like cinematography in this movie, and like a lot of the technical aspects throughout the whole movie are just vastly impressive. But
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
I really need to rewatch it because again, yeah, I like Colin said, I got what I wanted out of it, but at the same time, I didn't get the full like pacing and all that in one sitting because I didn't do it and have time to. So,
Yeah.
all
but
right.
yeah,
Well,
Kurosawa.
Akira Kurosawa. So if we're judging from Thomas, Noah, and Sebastian's rating, that is a 7.6 out of 10. And I guess that leads us to the pick of the week. It is my pick. And to be honest, guys, I haven't thought of a single thing to watch during this.
Oh man.
However, I did have an idea that just came to mind.
Like a Nic Cage film.
Nic Cage film. Sebastian, you are on the right track. I figured since we are all going to see Pig next week, let's just talk about Pig when we do the next podcast. Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Sure, why not? You know, little like in theaters post-pro podcast. Well, not like us.
No, in theaters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll,
yeah.
we'll
We'll finish.
theater.
We won't get up after the credits. Like the people will come and be like, "Hey, we gotta clean this." It's like, chill, dude. We're doing our podcast.
We're just like on our phones zooming. That'd be funny.
So you heard it here first. This is a first.
Yeah.
A review of a new film right
Wow.
after we get out of the theaters, and we're going to be doing it in the theater in the seats. So you heard it here first.
We'll let them
And
clean and then come back in.
maybe even you'll get a sneak peek of the sneak peek of Dune.
Oh my god.
We could review that as
We'll
well.
Yeah.
just record the whole sneak peek.
Well, I'm just
Yeah,
letting you
we're so
guys
far.
know. I'm just letting you guys know I'm like 100% going to it. So like I will
Yeah,
if you guys like just don't show up or just meet me at the Pig showing, I'm going to this. So I will let everybody know how this Dune sneak peek is.
Yeah.
It's a sneak peek.
What time I get home and how I'm feeling after work, I'll be ready.
Yeah, because it is legitimately a sneak peek of a movie. I haven't heard of anything like this before. I just need to see it with my own two eyes, to be honest with you. Just I need to know. Like I've just never heard of a company doing that.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
So I think with that's going to wrap up the 53rd episode of the Post Pro Podcast. We talked about Seven Samurai. Next week, we're going to talk about the new Nic Cage film, Pig.
Pig.
Pig. Wilding
I
out.
am really excited for it.
Alrighty. So I think that's it. Signing off now. Post Pro Podcast.